Who is ready to sleep, cozy in bed? The little unicorn who dreamed of autumn. Far, far away, past the sugar-spun clouds and the rainbow-topped mountains, there was a land where magic never, ever went to sleep. In this land lived a little unicorn named Luma. Luma was no bigger than a pony, with a snowy white coat as fluffy as marshmallows, and a horn that glimmered like morning dew. His mane sparkled in pastel rainbow colors, and wherever his tiny hooves touched, shimmery sparkles floated behind him like sleepy fireflies. Every day, unicorns in this land played among glittering waterfalls, danced through rainbows, and nibbled clouds that tasted like cotton candy. The world was bright, colorful, and always, always magical. But Luma, oh, Luma was different. He loved his home, of course. He loved the rainbows and the sparkles and the candy floss clouds. But sometimes, late at night, when everything around him was too shiny and too busy, Luma sighed. "I wonder," he whispered one night, snuggling into his star-shaped blanket. "What would it feel like to be cozy? What would it feel like to have autumn?" He had only heard of autumn in stories. He had heard whispers of golden leaves that drifted down like sleepy butterflies, of crunchy paths that went crunch, crunch beneath your hooves, of chilly evenings where you could wrap up in a blanket and sip something warm and sweet. Luma's eyes grew heavy. His horn gave a tiny, twinkly yawn of light, and before he knew it, he was dreaming. When Luma opened his eyes, the sky was no longer painted with rainbows. Instead, it glowed with soft golden light, as though the sun itself was yawning goodnight. Around him stood tall, gentle trees. Their leaves were not sparkly pink or glowing blue like in his world, but dressed in cozy coats of amber, orange, and crimson red. They looked like they were wearing sunset-colored scarves. As the breeze whispered through, the leaves twirled down. Shh, 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 landing in piles that made the ground look like a patchwork quilt. Luma took a step, crunch, another step, crunch, crunch. His little unicorn eyes widened in wonder. Oh, he sighed softly. So, this is autumn. He wandered deeper into the forest, following the scent of something sweet, like cinnamon and sugar, and something warm baking in an oven. Oh, he loved it. Soon, he spotted a tiny cottage tucked between the trees. Its roof was covered with golden leaves, and smoke puffed gently from the chimney, curling into the air like a sleepy ribbon. The windows glowed with soft golden light, the kind that makes you feel warm just by looking at it. At the door stood a kindly old squirrel, wearing a teeny tiny acorn hat. His fur was fluffy like a chestnut, and his smile was gentle. "Well, well," said the squirrel in a cozy voice. "A little unicorn in the autumn woods. You look like you could use something snuggly." The squirrel ushered Luma inside. The cottage smelled heavenly, pumpkin pie cooling on the table, cinnamon rolls waiting on a tray, and apples baked with sugar and spice. A fire crackled in the fireplace, its light dancing across the wooden walls. The squirrel wrapped a plaid blanket around Luma's shoulders, soft and warm, like a hug. "There you go," the squirrel said kindly. "Every unicorn needs a blanket in autumn." He gave Luma a tiny mug filled with warm apple cider. The steam curled up, smelling of apples and cinnamon. Luma took a little sip. Oh, it was cozy in his tummy. He curled up on a cushion by the fire. The flames made the room glow golden, and the sound of the crackling logs was like a lullaby. "Sometimes," whispered the squirrel, "magic isn't in rainbows or sparkles. Sometimes, magic is in the quiet, in the warmth, in the way autumn makes the world slow down and feel safe." Luma's eyes blinked sleepily. His rainbow sparkles dimmed into soft twinkles, like stars getting ready for bed. Wrapped in his blanket, with the fire crackling and the scent of cinnamon floating through the air, the little unicorn gave the tiniest yawn. He sighed. "I think I've found my cozy." When Luma woke up the next morning, he was back in his rainbow meadow. The skies were glittering, the waterfalls sparkling, the clouds fluffy and sweet. Everything was as magical as always. But something had changed. Luma now carried autumn in his heart. Whenever the world felt too sparkly or too busy, he would close his eyes and remember the golden forest, the crunchy leaves, the squirrel's acorn hat, the warm blanket, cozy fire. And just like that, his little heart would feel safe, warm and snuggly again. From that night on, Luma dreamed of autumn again and again and again. And now, little dreamers, it's time for you to drift off too. Close your eyes and imagine golden leaves twirling down, soft as whispers. Feel the warmest, coziest blanket wrapping you up, just like Luma's. Let the autumn breeze carry you into sweet, sleepy dreams. Good night, my little ones. May your dreams be as golden and gentle as autumn.